Hello, invaders. Welcome to another episode of the Pitch Invaders football podcast. And today, I have a very nice story to tell you guys.
Oh, God.
It's about a little red bird that got lost in a forest a few weeks ago.
Here we go.
But now that bird has exited the forest,
Yeah.
and he's come out in all his glory,
Oh.
arrayed in gold,
Wow.
and prospects of further silverware this season. That is Liverpool Football Club, who sits at top of the table at the end of this weekend. And where does Man City and Arsenal sit? Below them, where they belong. So guys, I hope you guys are ready for an exciting episode where we'll dig into the Manchester City loss and Arsenal loss, the Liverpool win, the other top flight games, all the games for next week, and we'll look ahead and discuss some hot topics. See you guys in a second. All right, boys, welcome Christian, Amir, Manchester City fans. Before you guys say anything, Bournemouth 2, Manchester City 1. How are you guys doing today?
Hello, Max.
So we're just starting with our game.
Hello.
Yes, we're just going to
Man City
drop
game.
it where it belongs.
I expected it.
Really?
I mean, you going into the game with 13 fit players? Come on.
Yeah.
These
Did have
players
a
are
lot of
down.
injuries.
Oh, yeah. You know, the first thing you said, Amir, was an excuse. That was an excuse.
What is the
The 13. What is your response, Christian? Do you have an excuse as well to tell us?
I mean, the thing that I was upset about with Pep was, Doku came on in the 80th minute and changed that game a lot. And I know he had, Fatmob said his injury was physical discomfort. I don't know what that means. And it said he would be out till after the international break. But he was available as a sub. Savinho, got carted off in the Carabao Cup game, was available as a sub.
Oh,
so
really?
to me, if these players are if Doku's healthy enough to play in the 80th minute, he's healthy enough to play in the 60th minute. And I would have preferred.
But why?
To see
I mean,
him.
Nunez was your most threatening player, if I'm being
Sure,
honest. I mean,
agree.
out of the whole entire front line, he was the most threatening.
He didn't look that
Yeah,
bad.
I honestly think I kind of disagree with Christian actually because if Duco is fit to play only 10 minutes, and I know the medical team do have some advice that to tell Guardiola he cannot play past like this amount.
You'd
shouldn't
rather
play.
rest him.
I would rather rest him so we don't lose yet another player. Like if he's fit like 10 minutes this game, he's probably going to be fit 25 minutes now. He's probably fit
what's his
another
injury?
10 minutes.
But what's
Yeah.
his injury?
Yeah, I don't
We
know.
They're
don't
so
know.
vague about it.
It's cryptic,
Yeah.
kind
Did
of.
he look hobbled too when he came? He was electric when he came on the field.
Yeah,
did.
but I mean, all the Bournemouth defenders too were too tired
True.
chasing the
Good
ball.
point.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was expected, honestly.
Listen, you
going-
guys, it's been coming, man. You
It's
guys
been
have
coming, yes.
scraped
It has been
a win for the
Yes.
past few
And-
weeks. Kofta John Stone goals in the 90th
They
minute.
had a Kofta Gvardiol goal this
Like,
time.
I'm sick of it.
We
So
did.
finally, you guys got what you
Yeah.
deserve. You finally got a loss.
Right.
And I don't have to hear, oh, we're just stuck up fans.
No.
We feel like we're so lucky to have such a great team.
We are lucky to have such a great
Well,
team.
you know what? Enjoy that loss. Enjoy it. And
mean,
I
it
want to make
wasn't-
one other statement. I got bashed because Salah. You guys said Holland is going to be the best top scorer of the league and
Oh, so
all
now we're
that.
talking about fantasy now.
Well, we're going to bring it up as well. Huh?
Do you want to talk about fantasy, Matt?
Salah again. Okay, we're not talking about my performance, but we're talking about player performance.
Okay.
Your
Salah
performance is
again.
Arsenal performance.
Yeah.
Salah again performed ahead of Holland, and Holland again continues. How many games is that without a goal?
Well, he scored actually last week.
Did he score?
Yeah,
he scored last
the
week,
little-
so-
yeah.
Oh,
It's only-
the
I mean,
Kofta thing.
He hit
yeah.
the crossbar.
The Southampton
Yeah,
goal.
he hit the crossbar this week. So
Yeah.
Okay.
it's alright.
okay.
But I think I
waiting
also
for
think
Kevin.
Haaland is playing on an injury. He's not fully fit.
Really?
Yeah.
No, he looks. I mean, maybe, but he looks fine to me. I think he's just missing Kevin.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Look, I have to be honest about Holland. He cannot. He's not an Mbappe or a Vinny or someone that can just or Salah.
Do it on his own.
Saka, a guy that can do it on his own. He needs to be provided with like good service.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out, Amir, Gundogan is not providing anything
Gundogan
as
is
of right
not.
now, which I don't really understand why that is because he's not playing.
It's
when
not
I was
an-
watching that match, Kovacic was kind of playing the Rodri role, which he's not doing a good job of that.
Mm.
I agree with you as well. I was looking forward to seeing John Stones take that role, but he had a knock. Ruben had a knock.
Yeah.
So obviously those options were out the window. But when I was watching that game, it looked like, Foden's playing the 10 role, Kovacic is playing the 6 role, and Gundogan's playing the 8 role, which is what he played when he was playing here before, that box-to-box midfielder. So I'm not really sure why he is looking uncomfortable out there. Do you have an explanation for that?
It's not the same Gundogan that
Like
left
he's
Man
regressed
City.
as a player?
Oh, I think so.
I think for
Oh,
sure.
okay.
I'm surprised.
I think so for
Like
sure.
what 1 year in Barcelona did to him.
I thought he was just gonna be a squad depth player. I'm
I
surprised.
thought so too.
Why is Lewis on the bench? Rico Lewis.
That was strange too.
Yeah, because
'Cause our
he
back four
he
was-
came on in the second half.
Our back
But
four,
again-
2 of the 4 on the. I'm sorry to jump in,
yeah.
but like 2 of the 4 on our back line had not played in months. Ake
Yeah.
and Kyle Walker, and they looked visibly rusty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
But it's the same problem over and over again that we talk about every week with Man City. Like the players are having to chase the ball even more now because they're just no longer in control. Every counter is like almost a goal.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Ederson saved us a couple of times. We have to chase the ball so many times, and both goals that got scored on us were because of Kyle Walker not being
Yep.
like solid enough to intercept or just block across, which is another player I think we should highlight. Hey, he's having
Yeah.
a terrible season.
I was gonna
Very
mention that as well. That was
Terrible
one of my takeaways. He's been the worst defender in your back
Yeah.
four, I think, which is shocking. I mean, I wouldn't expect that, but I think that's just the age coming to him.
He's been
He's been
surrounded by a
injured,
lot.
so he's
Yeah.
he's not getting that much game time, and then we're putting him in really precarious positions. This one was more. Was the thinking, Amir? You think like, okay, they've got Semenyo on the other side, and we need somebody that can keep up with his physicality and his speed, and maybe Rico is not the guy that can. Is that? 'Cause
Well, he
I
didn't
don't
do
really
that.
Understand?
Well, Semenyo was more in the middle too,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
if he was, he's more on the right, and then he drops in the middle.
Yeah.
But back to Kyle Walker, I think his problem is it's mentally. I know he's going through a lot of issues, but I feel like since last year and since he actually became Man City's captain, like there is a lot that got into his head. That he is not the same player anymore. I think there are a lot of problems in the locker room. He's not in control. He's not the guy that would go and fight with the refs.
Yeah. He's got drama off the pitch.
Yeah,
too. And a lot of
and-
drama, like
and-
personal life stuff too.
I agree, and he's talking a lot in the media, and not a lot of people are happy with that behavior, especially from a squad perspective too. So it's probably something that is affecting him. I don't know how he can fix that. It's
Yeah.
probably too late to take the captain off his arm, but
Well, I have a question. What's wrong with Phil Foden? I mean, he had really great crosses and all that, but I mean, is that all we're getting from Phil Foden?
I mean, he scored in the Champions League game against like a pretty weak opponent.
yeah,
to be fair.
yeah. I mean,
So that was like good for his confidence, but
but
I was hoping to
he's-
see it translate on.
that's not the same
Saturdays.
Foden
Yeah.
as last year.
Yeah.
And I don't. Can we keep mentioning it's an injury? He has an injury.
No,
is
I
that
don't think
really
so.
what it is?
I don't think
Or
so.
is he just out of form?
I have to be honest, Max. This this run that we've been on, Man City, this is the most vulnerable I've ever seen us.
Since like we're
For,
talking
like, the
about
last 5 years.
Yeah, since like
Since-
2-3 years. At
Yeah,
least.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
since
so
he had Otamendi and like Fernand.
Even the first
even
like
Otamendi even Otamendi days, we'd get clean sheets, man. We're not getting clean sheets ever.
Yeah.
It's like this is really the most vulnerable I've seen the team. So if there is a year for another team to really pounce on us and take that, it's very early in the season. But if there's a year for someone to take advantage, this is the year to do it. Liverpool, I'm sure we'll talk about did it. Arsenal
Yeah.
did not. But
Yes.
just,
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
I think we should move on probably because I'm done talking about Man
Oh
City.
man, I'd love to stay on it, but I'll move on. Well, let's get into the other big game that title kind of contending. Arsenal falling to Newcastle 1-0, guys. What do you
that
guys
was
think?
the best thing about Man City losing this week because Arsenal lost first.
You predicted that. You predicted that. And I said you're
know.
crazy.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you guys think?
This team's not it.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. Their Odegaard is that really
Can't be. I mean, that's
Odegaard and William Saliba, I guess.
that right. Well, Saliba played, but that.
Oh,
right
yeah, you're
there,
right.
That right there, what you just mentioned, is really highlighting why. Okay, at the end of the day, I think Arsenal are still going to be in the title race at the end of the year. I know a lot
For
of people are
sure.
talking about their title chase is over.
They're in
No.
5th place.
I get it, but this is
on.
Yeah,
this is
but how
why
many
I say-
points is that?
I
What
mean,
are we
this is
talking
why
about?
I say that. I remember last year. Now, albeit it happened in like the middle of the season, it wasn't this early, but last year, middle of the season, during the grind of the season, they had a stretch of games where they couldn't score a goal, and then like I think Arteta took them to Dubai for a week.
Yeah, I
during the
remember that.
international
Yeah.
break, and when they came back, they were banging in like 4 or 5 goals a game.
Yeah.
And they looked unstoppable. So I'm not willing to say now they're out of the title race. They're going to bounce back from this, but it is pretty crazy that Odegaard's injured and they can't create a goal.
Yeah, they look toothless.
Yeah.
And I think that I think it's good that it's happening early in the season, personally, because hopefully they will go in the January transfer window and buy a bunch of players that can potentially help them win the league.
Now
Maybe
when
they'll
they-
assess where they're sitting at, but
Now, when their sporting director just is leaving the club.
I saw that Edu.
So
yeah.
he was a big part of this project.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Is there anything happening in the background there?
I'm
Arteta
sure.
just got a new contract, didn't he?
Did he?
I believe so. He just extended his contract.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Edu, somebody had to have told Arteta, you need another striker. I mean,
Yeah.
can we blame it at the end of the day? I think I brought that up about Havertz, and then he scored the next week after I talked about him.
Yes.
And now he hasn't scored again. Is it? Can they really depend on Trossard and Havertz, or is it just because Odegaard is that kind of supplier? Same thing like Kevin De Bruyne is that supplier for Holland. Is that the problem? Is it just that piece is missing, the playmaker, or is it the front, like they're not creating goals? Because I think they heavily depend on Saka right now.
They do, and I personally I look into the Arsenal squad, and I don't think it's the best squad in the league. Personally, I think
Yeah.
they,
Agreed.
especially their top like 3 or 4,
Yep.
maybe the defenders. Yes, they are the best in the league, even though they're not performing as well. But like I look at Aston Villa, for example. I look at Liverpool. You look at even like Spurs are like the front 3 are at Spurs are even like scoring bangers week in week out.
That's
so
true.
I don't know with the front 3 at Arsenal. I don't think they are the best in the league right now.
Yeah.
So you're definitely missing a top striker that can get you a sitter or can get you an easy goal from like half a chance in these type of games.
They have no plan B.
Yeah.
And so to answer your question, it's a combination of both, okay? I feel like when you don't have your number 10, other guys need to find ways to create a goal for you. And then when all else fails, you need to just be able to send that ball into the box and have a guy that can box people out and just like hit a goal, knock a goal. Like what Chris Wood is doing for Nottingham Forest, right?
Yeah.
They don't have a guy like that. So I feel like it's a combination of the two. And when they don't have Odegaard and they don't have a guy that can just sit in that box and be like a traditional box striker, they're not able to get those goals that,
Yeah.
Tottenham get with Solanke. Solanke was available. They didn't go for him, so
I would say one thing that just kind of rang to my head is I remember last season there was a long stretch where Liverpool were struggling to score goals.
Yeah.
And that was a big problem. It wasn't necessarily the defense, but we weren't scoring goals. We didn't necessarily go and get any players. It just I don't know if it was a matter of like we picked up form and we started picking results or the system got changed. But maybe we can't. I mean, the team that they have, this attack, Havertz is capable of getting 10 plus goals. Saka is 20 plus if he has a good season. I mean, there are players that are capable of it. Maybe, but I don't know if they want to get in the title race, they don't really have the time essence, that they can wait for the players to pick up form. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, and I think Saka's injured still, right? He just played,
probably
but
a little bit, yeah.
yeah. And I have a question for Arteta. I mean, he's playing so much with the squad, but he started Partey at right back, even though Ben White was fit.
Pep is getting to his head.
So
yeah.
why is he doing that? He's starting with Marino.
last
He's
year.
pulling a Pep.
I don't know. He's starting with Marino, Declan Rice, and Trossard in the midfield. There is something that he's trying to do since the beginning of the season that it's not just working. It's not working out.
He did that last year too.
Yeah.
He fumbled with the lineup a lot and was trying new things. And I think his thinking was, if I have this player playing a position that he is not comfortable playing in, and then early in the season I can get him comfortable in that position, then later in
he'll
the
be
year if
back
we have
up.
an injury, he can play that spot. I think that's what he just did with Partey. Like, end of season, if Ben White has an injury, he can play Partey. It was weird because when you put Ben White on, it changed like 3 or 4 other players.
I don't
Partey moved into the
understand,
midfield. This guy moved here. It did a monumental shift to the team. So I agree with you. It's a bit.
Why do these Spanish coaches like to make things complicated?
Yeah.
Why can't they just,
But I don't like when you're forcing
a
this
player to
change.
transition?
Or like with Man City players, it's a training ground thing.
Yeah,
If you put these players in any position, they're gonna perform.
Yep.
Not because Pep is forcing them to. learn. They're just naturally good and talented that they can fill in that position. It's not the same with the Arsenal players, who are probably like some of them are rejects from other clubs too. So like, it's different dynamic in my opinion.
One shot on target.
Yeah.
Newcastle didn't look good to me.
No.
You know,
They just
got their
scored the goal and defended.
They got their goal and then sat back.
Yeah.
And they had that crowd behind them. That crowd is amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They played with heart.
Yeah. Shout out
sure.
to St. James Park. Yeah.
Well, Arsenal sits in fifth right
place.
now. So, are you guys ready to get into the Liverpool game? Because that's the highlight of this weekend and the story that I started with.
not
What do you
too
guys
worried.
think about that bird with gold and glory and prospects of silverware? How do you guys think about that 2-1 win to bring us to first place?
Aside from the kofta.
Oh, there's no kofta. No kofta.
But honestly, credit to Arne Slot.
Yeah.
I expected him that he would be fired by the end of the
Oh,
season.
That was your hot take.
That was your hot take.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Max, what was your hot take?
Aston Villa will finish in the top 6.
That was a hot take.
That's not a hot
Was,
take.
they are in top 6, so
That's a lukewarm take, my guy.
that's what you guys said at the time.
All right.
Honestly, after 10 games, this guy is solid.
He's solid.
He's
solid.
getting the results. The players look happy. I must say they are performing.
We didn't play good. I mean, I'll be honest.
Played
We
good
did
for
not
like
play
4
good,
minutes of the game.
but when it counted, once the goal went in, the floodgates opened, and Salah, like, I could put that on like butter, like cut a piece of bread, slice it, and spread it like butter. That's how delicious that goal was.
Yeah.
Scrumptious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great goal.
It was.
it's a Salah trademark now. I think we can call it that.
So Max, just so we can get it on record now.
Sure.
Are Liverpool winning the league this year?
I still am not 100% certain of it.
Wait.
I think this
Why
is.
don't you?
Here,
what's
listen,
going
listen.
on? Amir, he was all confident.
No. I'm going to be
They're
honest.
top of the league.
I'm gonna
and
be
I'm
honest.
asking him a simple question.
I have to
Are
be-
Liverpool going to win the league?
I have to
And
be
now
realistic.
You're wavering a bit.
No, I have to be realistic. We've been fortunate enough that Man City and Arsenal haven't been at their top of the game.
Correct.
Last season, they were neck and neck, not losing any games. I mean, Arsenal, I don't know how long they went undefeated. Now they already have 3 ties and two losses.
Wow.
So I think the reason that we're benefiting and being on the top right now is because of the poor performances of Man City and Arsenal. But realistically, I don't know where we're going to be at come December. I think Arne Slot didn't really expect to be sitting at the top of the table.
Doesn't sound confident, man.
It's not about confidence. I'm just being realistic. If we win, I mean, if I'm sitting at first place and it's like March, I will be like shooketh.
Okay.
I think is the word.
Understood.
But yeah, I mean, I don't mean to like tie it into that, but I heard the two Robbies in their podcast. They were saying like, this is kind of similar to like a Leicester City 2016, 2017 season, where all the other teams were doing caca, and it's not going to be the same amount of points,
They're
obviously.
talking about
but-
Nottingham Forest then.
No, I'm talking. Yeah, I mean, talking about Liverpool may benefit. They may not be at the top of their game.
Yeah.
But we may benefit with poor performances by the other top 6 teams.
Interesting.
That may give us the title. I don't know, but yeah. What do you guys think?
I just don't get why people say Man City are having a terrible season. I mean,
What are they?
Yeah, and, like in terms of performance, we're not the best, but in terms of points, this is our first loss
First loss.
Yeah, but
of the season.
you guys got
to say
Kofta
that-
90-minute.
I have to say
come
though,
on.
it's just not having Rodri is really eating away.
It's a big loss.
We'll
Yeah.
find a way to balance.
If we
that.
find a way with Rodri, without, I mean, we found a way without strikers. We found a way without Kevin De Bruyne. We found a way with a bunch of things. If we find a way to do it this year, then
Maybe you guys buy somebody in January.
We might, but here's my take on that. I think I agree with you 100% that if you get into a position that, like, the expectation was not for you to like fight for the league. Maybe just get top
Yeah,
4.
top 3
and
probably.
then
Yeah.
by March, Liverpool finds themselves fighting for the title.
Then we're for sure going all in.
You're gonna try.
Right
but
now, we're
is Arne Slot ready to go all in for that? What
That's a
if
good
you're
question.
fighting on two
Yeah.
titles, the Champions League and the Premier League?
The best thing I like about Arne Slot is he's a calm, composed kind of guy.
He really is.
Right now, there's no pressure on him because there's no expectations.
Exactly.
We weren't even expecting to be in this position, so it's actually to our benefit actually.
What if you add
Because
the
we
expectation?
Michael Arteta has all the weight and all the pressure.
Yep.
I don't know. I think when we come to March, hopefully it's not like a crumble kind of situation, but I don't know. I think right now we're just gonna numb the area and just pretend like we're not really in first,
Yeah.
and then we'll hopefully wake up in like April and find ourselves like 10 points ahead, and we'll go with it.
I highly doubt, but I think things might change when Arne Slot starts seeing like the camera flashlights are hitting first Liverpool manager to win the Premier League after I don't know how.
No, I don't
Many
think he's that kind of
seasons.
guy. He's not that guy.
I mean, he was trying to do some voodoo to your
He is, but it's not gonna work. It's not
We'll
gonna
see,
work.
We'll see. But that's the beauty of the Premier League. They put you in that spot that you have to kind of be Pep or Klopp
Yeah.
to win it.
What if we're all just wrong and Nottingham Forest just goes on the
Dude, and Chris Wood gets like 25 goals, right?
That'd be amazing. He's
Oh
on
my
pace for
gosh.
that right
Nuno
now.
Santo ate that capsa in Saudi, and now he's flying.
That's true, and in Spurs too.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you don't know capsa, go Google it.
yeah, that's a new vocab word that we got this week. Anything else to say about that game, guys?
No, congratulations to Liverpool.
Thank you,
know?
guys.
Yeah.
Thank
That red bird flew like a phoenix in the air.
Oh yes, that's a
Yeah.
good one. I
Okay.
should have said Phoenix.
You're hit with another injury though. Konate,
Konate, is he injured?
He's
I didn't
injured.
really notice that.
yeah, he got subbed out.
Oh, 46
So-
minute. That's good. We got Gomez. I think we got enough depth to really
Okay.
cover that. But yeah. All right, you guys ready to get into the next game?
Yes, please.
So the next 2 games, which were on Sunday.
Yep.
Let's start with Tottenham Aston Villa.
Yes.
I don't know what to say about
My
this.
side piece, Tottenham.
Christian, I'll let you start since you're
Yeah.
always hyping them up.
Well, my hot take was at the beginning of the season that they're going to hoist the trophy this year. And I'm not going to lie to you.
Carabao
When
Cup?
they drew Man City in the Carabao Cup, I was like, okay, I'm going to. My hot take is
Eat
out.
my
I'll
words,
go-
right? Yeah.
But then they came out and they beat the crap out of Man City and won that match. And then they rode that momentum into their match against Aston Villa.
Who's in form?
Who's in form, and they're doing well in Champions League and everything in between. Aston Villa got a goal, but I feel, I mean, let me ask you this. For Tottenham fans and Man City fans, I feel like we share something in common. And that's, we're not going to score first. We're going to be down a goal.
Probably.
But we don't panic, you know?
Yeah. Well, Tottenham's, yeah.
So Aston Villa scored. Tottenham didn't panic. They just kept it going, and just found in the second half a few moments of brilliance.
Solanke. Did you see
Solanke got a brace.
that beautiful
It was
chip?
beautiful.
Got a nice chip.
Man, chips and guac.
Did you? Okay, I saw something that was interesting. I think Tottenham is second in the league in goals behind Liverpool. They're either tied or second. So like a
22
goal
goals.
behind.
Yeah, they're actually top of the league.
So Tottenham is top of the league in
They
goals.
have the most goals in the league, yeah. Manchester
Son-
City is second with 21.
Okay, gotcha. So Son has kind of not played much this year. He's had an injury. Did you anticipate that front 3 or front 4 or whatever formation you do would have the most goals in the league at this point? Like the talent, I'm saying
Yeah.
the talent level.
I thought that they were going to have a lot of goals, to be honest.
I did not.
They
I did
look
not-
pretty good.
but
Brennan
I'm s-
Johnson. you
I think
got
I
Solanke.
overhyped
Okay, so we went into this year. You guys saw Brennan Johnson.
No.
And if I would have told you Brennan Johnson's going to play every week, Solanke's going to play almost every week, Son is going to be like gone half the season.
Yeah, no way.
You think they'd have the most goals in the league?
Not with Son half gone and Brendan Johnson. Like,
Yeah.
I thought
'Cause we all thought
Solanke.
Brennan Johnson was a bust last year.
Yeah.
He got off social media and now he can't stop scoring goals.
How many goals did they score last year? Like which
not sure.
position? Because I thought that's always the case with Tottenham. They
They
score a
score
lot,
goals.
but they concede a lot
Concede
too.
yeah. I think I just, when you have Liverpool and Man City, even you can make the
Yeah.
argument Arsenal, you got a lot of other Chelsea's attack.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clubs out there where I did not think at this point, 10 weeks
No,
in,
I
that
agree.
Tottenham would have the most goals. I didn't think
Me
they'd be
neither.
up there. And they're only 2 points away from Arsenal. They're
Yeah.
having
No,
a...
I have a theory.
What's that?
Oh no.
I feel like the board gave Postecoglou an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Which is
You play Man City and you play Aston Villa. If you
You
don't
have to
get
win.
positive results, you're out.
Maybe that wouldn't surprise
well,
me.
he's not
at all.
going out now, man.
And maybe that's why they're
So
like
crazy, this team,
too
man.
focused. I don't know.
Again, he has a week where he makes amazing managerial adjustments
Yeah.
to win a game, and then the next week he bungles the entire game, and then these last 2 games, the moves he made, the subs, he subbed out Son in the 60th minute.
he was
Which is
injured.
crazy.
He was injured.
He got injured.
But
yeah.
Son looked pissed,
Son
like
looked
he was
pit-
not
like he was
expecting
not-
it.
Yeah.
I think he was injured.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I heard.
But
That's
even
what I
then-
heard
But
as
even
well.
then, if I would have told you I'm down a goal in a game,
Taking my best
and I'm
player
going
out.
to take off Son and put on Richarlison,
Which he got injured
how would
too.
you feel? No, but I'm just saying on paper, how would you feel about that as a Tottenham?
Yeah.
I'd be freaking out in that stadium.
If
it
that
worked out.
happened and they lost, he would definitely have been. I mean, that's like
He
hot,
put his
hot
balls on the
seats.
table. I just have to say it.
Yeah.
Ange put his balls on the table in that game.
Imagine like them losing 2-0 and like your best players
Yeah.
on the bench. They're
That's all they're
blaming
gonna ask
all.
you
They're
about.
blaming
Yeah.
Postecoglou.
And
Yeah.
Not to
they
men-
defended well against Man City
Yeah, they
midweek
did.
too.
Yeah,
They weren't playing that high line. They just parked the bus like every team
Right.
does right now, basically, just to beat Man City. And yeah, they played really well.
Do you
I
think
thought Dragusin looked good in this game, filling in for Mickey Van de Ven.
you like Dragusin? You always mention him. I
I
think.
feel like he's got it. He's earned a starting job.
Yeah.
Maybe they do a back 3 with him, Van de Ven, and Romero. I don't know, but I think he needs to play.
They got hit with a lot of injuries though, because I think Son got injured, Richarlison got injured, Bentancur got injured, and
Yep.
I think Romero got injured.
Oh,
Yep.
did he?
Yeah, he did.
Romero got injured.
So now
Yeah.
Oh, well,
next
Dragusin
game they're in
has to
trouble.
play. Dragusin has to play now. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a choice. Yeah.
Do you guys
Anyway,
think that
yeah.
this is? Do you think they're going to be able to ride momentum, or is momentum not a word that exists in Tottenham's
This is like a
vocabulary? I guess
This
is
is like
that.
a seventh place, eighth place team. I don't see
Really?
them.
Do they have momentum? Is that a word
no.
like that we can?
I don't see 7th, 8th place, but I did say top 4, or I said 4th place.
Well, who's going to finish ahead of them? We're
Oh,
not talking.
they're-
We're excluding Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, and
I'm not.
Liverpool.
I'm not excluding Chelsea yet.
I'm not.
I'm
yeah.
not sold on Chelsea like you guys.
Oh,
are.
re- oh, but I think
not
I think I am.
More than the rest of the,
Yeah.
the league, right?
But I
Yeah.
thought you meant you. So you're definitely saying Chelsea will finish ahead of Tottenham.
Oh, I think so.
Yes.
I'm not there yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not sold on them.
I even
much.
think either Brighton
But I mean-
or Nottingham
No.
Forest are going to finish
but-
ahead of Tottenham.
But what I mean, like when I say that, doesn't mean I think Chelsea is going to finish like 15th anymore.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I think I could see a situation where Tottenham is 5th and Chelsea 6th, or 4th and 5th, something like that. You know,
I just think
can
Chelsea's
name-
more
yeah.
consistent than Tottenham. That's the thing.
Yeah.
why didn't they beat Manchester United then?
Well, yeah, I mean that's it's all because of the managerial bounce. I think that's the only reason. If they played Manchester United 2 weeks ago before Ten Hag was fired,
Yeah.
I think Chelsea
It
would
was
have
going
won.
to be
But
different.
there's no managerial bounce because the guy that was filling in was Ruud van Nistelrooy.
They won 5-2 in the Carabao Cup.
But Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't make
I know.
basically any changes to Ten Hag. It was a Ten
No,
Hag
but
starting
we see
11.
that all the time.
Or
Like
it
the
was
players,
rude Van Nistelrooy's
the players are
like
so free.
formation that he forced Ten Hag to play with.
I don't know, but
don't know.
I just saw the
they
players.
couldn't create any goals. The only reason they scored is because of a penalty that was a bit sus to me. Other
They
than
looked-
that,
they
No,
looked
no, no. The
alright.
players.
Garnacho stunk.
Would you guys
Rashford
want to?
stunk.
Do you guys want to get into that
We
game?
can
then?
get into
All
that.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
Tottenham looked great. Good for you guys. 4-1.
Manchester United 1-1. And like I was saying, because we already started,
Yeah.
I think the players were restricted to their roles under Ten Hag. Now, we always see this. When a manager gets fired, players have freedom. Obviously, Van Nistelrooy is not going to implement something in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so the players have freedom to do what they want. Like we saw Bruno Fernandes finally kind of get the chains off of him. He could do what he wanted. I kind of felt like a little bit more freedom. I think the bounce is real. I mean, 5-2.
Yeah.
I think that's the most goals they probably have scored under. I
Who
mean,
did they play
in the
that
past
game?
2 years,
Who did they play?
Leicester.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I mean,
Yeah.
5-2 against another Premier League club that hasn't happened.
Wasn't it the Leicester B team?
I don't know if it was a B team. That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a good question. But what do you guys think? I mean, did you
I thought they played well.
Manchester United?
Overall, I mean, they use the same formation that they've been playing for the past 2 games, so it must be something that Ruud was working with. What's his name? Ten Hag.
Yeah.
On.
You already
I
forgot it?
forgot his
Yeah,
name.
man.
Oh my god. Yeah.
My
But-
guy Eric.
But yeah, I feel like I agree with you. Like this has an effect for sure,
Yeah.
even if it's like it's a placebo effect, but
Yeah.
it's still there. To be honest,
Fair enough. I have to say, I thought Garnacho was pretty bad.
You are not
I
a
thought
fan.
Rashford was bad, but a little bit better. I thought Hoyland was pretty bad.
where are
I
you,
didn't
bro?
think-
Portuguese fan or something? You like Ronaldo?
I
You
didn't
want Xerxes to start for some
I
reason.
didn't think Bruno was any good. I don't think he's good. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're those front four. I don't think they're any good.
You're anti-Manchester United. That's
I
why.
am anti-Manchester
Because you're Man
United.
City. That's all.
I
why
am
are you wearing
anti-Manchester,
red?
but they don't create anything. Okay, listen, this club, even when they were at their worst of their worst, they would get clean sheets. They would defend well. They're organized defensively, but they don't have very much creativity in attack. They got a bunch of dudes that just run around and stat pad and just try to.
I disagree with you, actually. I disagree. I think the
do
problem is not the creativity. I think it's the finishing. They do not have composure or finishing. The highlights that we saw and like the game and the game last week, for example, that they had 17 chances. The problem that the manager is going to have to fix is the composure and the finishing and the final third. That's the end story. I don't think the creativity is a problem, though. Garnacho could have got that goal if he had composure. Garnacho, that half volley. Bruno
wasn't
Fernandes,
scoring
if he
that.
had that volley after the
Rashford hit
rebound.
the crossbar.
Rashford hit the cross. Those are goals that if a team that has composure could put away, they would have won this 3-1.
Or
We actually
confidence.
broke it down last week, didn't we? Or maybe the week before.
All the players that were the problem.
How they switched up something in attack to make it look nicer, and
Yeah.
now you have Rashford is playing on the right. He's usually left player, playing on the left wing, and then you have Garnacho. Bruno is in the middle, where Rashford would go in as a
drop
second
in.
striker. Bruno actually would shift to the right so he can play that cross. I mean, there's something,
like slight tweaks,
which
but
is good. It's good.
How many chances did they create in this match?
Manchester United.
Yeah, please
Let's see.
please tell me, because I guess we're seeing two different things because
They had 11 shots,
Okay.
4 on target,
okay.
compared to Chelsea's 12 and 3 on
And
target.
they had
right.
1.8 expected
that's-
goals.
What happened to
too.
Cole Palmer, boys? I thought
Well,
he
yeah, I mean,
was
if we're going to get into Chelsea, I don't know. They weren't playing really good. Palmer had a very quiet night.
very quiet night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys, I don't know
up?
what's going on.
I think it's normal. I mean, they were on fire a couple of weeks ago. No one had any expectations. Now everyone is expecting them to score week in, week out. But
But they're not playing poor.
They're not terrible. Yeah,
Even when they're bad, I mean, they got a tie.
it's still a big game in Old Trafford. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I still see this as a top 6 team for sure, and I think we all do. It's just a matter of who are they if they're going to be
I
ahead.
see him on the latter edge of top 6. Yes.
I don't think they're going to finish below
just-
7.
I
Top four,
think they need to fix something about their defense, or maybe Sanchez, like the goalkeeper, they need to switch him because I
Oh,
think
for sure, that's
I-
going
I
to be
think-
changed.
Can I ask a different question? Let me ask
Yeah.
a different question. God forbid, Cole Palmer. It looks like he took a little bit of a knock in that game, or it was kind of a dirty tackle,
should've
sort
been
of
a red
from
card.
Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah.
That should have. Looks like he took a knock. I don't think it looks like anything serious. I don't want him to get injured. Let's say this dude, God forbid, gets an injury.
Oh, that's screwed.
What does this team look like after?
It's like Saka. It's like Arsenal without Saka.
they
it's the
have a
same.
lot of people to play in that role.
No,
See, this
I
is
disagree.
where I don't agree.
I
at
agree with
all,
Christian.
man.
There's no way they can
Dude,
replace
if this
that.
guy-
They have Nkunku.
He's
If
a-
this
he's
Wonder Boy gets hurt, that team
Yes,
is a
they-
relegation
That team is a
team.
ninth
No,
place team
they-
without
Ninth
without
place?
without Foden. Who am I even talking
Guys.
about?
Cole Palmer?
Without Palmer, they're a mid-table team.
I disagree.
Mid-table?
I don't think
I
they.
think they're like 15th or something.
No, not that bad.
Yeah.
No, they have a lot of
The truth is
players.
probably somewhere
No,
in the
Amir,
middle.
you're not being
That can fill in.
realistic.
No, I'm being very
He's
realistic.
like the Saka of Arsenal.
He is.
If you
but-
take
He's
Saka
more
out of
than-
Arsenal, how are they
No,
going to play?
I think he's
exactly
more
because
than the
they
Saka
don't
of
have
Arsenal.
they don't have the
He's
players.
more, to me,
But
No.
This team have Joao Felix,
he
Nkunku.
stinks. He stinks.
No,
Were we just reading
But-
names, dude?
yeah, you can.
These guys aren't any
These
good.
guys are good.
What?
No, I mean,
These guys
they're-
are top players in the world.
Felix is Foffy, dude.
But these are top
That is
players.
true.
These are like
Let's
when you
add it to
listen,
the
Next vocab, Foffy.
when,
Yeah,
when you
Foffy.
list me the top 25 like potential players, you're gonna put Joao Felix. You're gonna put Nkunku. You're gonna put.
What
it's
year?
Amir, it's
What
like
year are we
it's,
talking about?
This is like the
Yeah,
problem where they had all the amazing players last season, and there's no system, no creativity.
But there is a system now.
But they
so
that
you
is
can
true.
you
It's
can
a key
the
expect.
system
player.
is Cole Palmer.
No.
He is the,
yeah, I mean, you give him the ball and he
agree,
creates everything.
He is
give
part of the system.
I'll give you Nicholas Jackson. I was wrong on Nicholas Jackson. He's taken a really big step forward. I think he's a legit striker in this league. The rest of this, I mean, Pedro Neto, I actually kind of like him as a player too. The rest of this team, dude, they stink to me.
So I
Guys,
mean,
there is
who's
a
gonna
system.
who's
And
if he
Cole
gets
Palmer,
injured, who's the,
It's- it's like-
who's his substitute?
It's a good thing that they have a system. It's similar to Pep with
Mm.
City. You take a player out and you put another player, he's gonna perform, even if it's not at the same at the same level. You can expect like 50% of the job getting done.
Well,
And
for
it's like-
example, Man City
and
without a certain player like De Bruyne or Rodri
Yeah.
are completely broken.
it's a different team, yes, but not completely broken.
I mean, we want to bring the score at 2-1 Bournemouth, yeah.
But that's why I think it's good that Chelsea with Maresca are actually showing some
Yeah.
potential with
Yeah.
actually bringing in a system. Everyone is committing to that system. That I see, like even if Cole Palmer is out, like injured or anything happens,
You
yes,
think-
Chelsea will lose like a big part of that like working system, but they can replace it with another player that could fill in for like 50%.
Amir, this is
I have a rebuttal.
yeah.
And I think this is a mic drop right here. I actually don't know, but I think I heard Chelsea weren't they eliminated from the Conference League tournament
Why?
because they lost the game, or no, not eliminated. Maybe they just lost the game. I'm not sure. They lost the game in the Conference League tournament, and it was a game where they played their B team, and obviously there's no Cole Palmer.
No, I mean I haven't seen them.
I don't think
I have
I've
to, I,
seen it.
I might have to go look that up. You guys talk about something
Yeah,
else.
they've won-
Look at
they've
that.
won all
Was
the
like
games that I've
game
seen.
at the very beginning of the season.
No, it was a recent one. It was a recent.
No, they won 4-1 against
Oh, I know that
Panathinaikos.
I thought they are doing
They
really
lost the
well.
EFL Cup, if that's what you're talking about.
EFL.
Yeah, you're probably
looking
talking
at-
about the EFL Cup because they had a B team there.
EFL. Who did and they lost that match?
Newcastle 2-0.
Yeah.
And did Cole Palmer play that game?
No.
That's the game I'm thinking of.
They had Drewsbury Hall, Mudryk, Felix, and Nkunku up front.
And they lost 2-0
Man
to
City
Newcastle.
lost
They had
first.
Nkunku, Felix, and Mudryk. I mean, those are good players, right?
I mean, yes.
So who played
but
the number 10 role in that game? Dude? Does it show it on there?
Felix.
Doesn't matter.
You're contradicting yourself.
I'm really not, guys. I
I
mean,
mean-
with these guys, they put expectations for every game, every tournament. So
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
there is a system that's going on in the Conference League. There is a system going on in the Premier League. For
I
the
wanna-
Cup, people really don't.
I think
wanna
you're just
punish
supporting them
myself.
because of Maresca. You have a little bit of Man
think
City.
I like him.
Man City in
I'm-
you still.
I'm
do
not
I
gonna
want to
deny
punish
it.
myself by re-watching that Carabao Cup match with Chelsea versus Newcastle to see
To analyze,
if
yeah.
they stunk without
I think
Cole
you should,
Palmer?
so that we can. And the last thing I was
Do I
gonna
want to do
say,
that to myself? I don't know.
I wanted to just say again, he scored 25 goals and got 15 assists last season. That's not
Yeah.
something that you can easily replace. That's 40 goal contributions. So if we take 40 goal contributions out of a squad, I don't think there's a player
cannot,
that you can
yes.
replace.
No,
so
I agree. It's like taking Haaland out of the Man City team right now.
it's like Chelsea's an A team,
Yeah.
now they become a C team or
But-
C plus maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
but-
wouldn't say like a C team. I would say
You-
like
B
probably
minus?
B or like they will still be like top 6, top 7 because,
Oh.
because I think I believe in Maresca.
All right, so maybe I think
That's hot take.
you're probably the closest, Max, because if they lose Cole Palmer,
Yeah.
you're saying top 6, top 7. I'm saying 15th.
No. That's
And
the way
you're probably it's probably
eighth
somewhere in
or
the middle.
ninth.
Eighth
Yeah.
or
Guys, there is something happening in the locker room, on the field.
It's I mean I
It's
feel
the
it.
What, are
coach-
you
it's the
expecting
coach's
Nani
effect.
Medweki to like just what Cole Palmer?
Who
I know
knows?
you're injured, but I'm gonna step up and take over and score a bunch of goals.
He had a horrible
might.
game. Yeah.
He might.
Yes.
How? He can't do anything without Cole
No,
Palmer.
they have a good manager that can actually use these players to do certain things.
I don't think that Ziff can do anything. without Cole
Listen.
Palmer.
I'll be curious to see when it does happen. If it hopefully it doesn't.
We're not.
you know,
Yeah,
he's
we're
a
not
great
rooting
player.
for it,
But if it ever does, I think
think
this
it'll
will
be
be
a
an
train wreck.
opportunity for Maresca to show that he's not just a one-man, player team.
I'd
But-
love to see Cuckoo play that. That would be so funny. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that was all the games, guys. So
Nice.
we're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to get into the next week match week predictions. All right, boys. You guys ready to get into the next week fixtures?
Tell me, Max, how
Yes.
many points did I score first?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I'm
So
pretty sure I scored one perfect game.
I'm not
pretty
going to
sure.
start with me because we'll save the best for last. Amir, you are still sitting in third place with 46 points, but you got +5, so that's respectable. Pretty respectable.
Terrible.
Yeah, we'll let that.
Terrible.
Christian got the worst. He got +3. He's sitting at 63. So-
you know who screwed me? James Madison screwed me.
With that,
He got that direct free kick goal that was so unnecessary, and I would have gotten that one right 3-1 and got whatever. Go ahead, dude.
and then
Go ahead.
I am sitting at 66, top of this competitive friendly league,
Mm.
+5. And I remember I got one score line right, Liverpool, right?
Yep.
That was a Liverpool 2-1. So, Amir, there's no way you're gonna come back unless you guess 1 week completely all
It's
right.
only 20 points.
We're not even a third of the way through the season. You
Alright.
could definitely come back.
I'm gonna surprise you guys.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens this
gonna
time.
surprise
You guys ready to get into the games?
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right, the first game, Saturday, no early game, 10 a.m., Brentford at home against Bournemouth, fly-high Bournemouth. Christian.
Dang it. See, the thing is with this one, boys, is Brentford just suffered an embarrassing defeat in stoppage time against Fulham. And Bournemouth are riding high, man. They just beat Arsenal and then they just beat Man City. You know, I would normally ride that momentum, but I feel like they'll lay an egg. I don't know why.
I feel that too. Yeah.
2-1 Brentford.
Ooh,
2-1 Brentford.
hot take. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a 2-2.
2-2.
Two clubs wearing red. Come
Okay.
on a Saturday morning.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Bournemouth on this one. I think it's
Okay.
gonna be 2-1 Bournemouth.
All right.
Yeah.
The bees versus the cherries.
Here's my first 3 points.
All right. Next game, Crystal Palace at home against Fulham. Amir.
I think Fulham are gonna win 2-0.
They haven't been playing good recently. But they did get that last minute goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
All right.
third
Fulham
two.
2-0. Christian.
Crystal Palace at home. They're starting to look a little bit better. They're playing Fulham. Fulham just
a tough
had a
one.
comeback. It is a tough one. I'm gonna say 1-1.
1-1.
1-1. Yeah.
It's a caca score. It's like a.
Yeah.
All right. 1-1. I'm still gonna stick with Fulham. I think Eze is injured for Crystal Palace, which
Yes.
I think has to be a loss.
Sucks.
So I'm gonna go Fulham 2-1
Okay.
against Crystal Palace.
Cool.
West Ham versus Everton.
Dude,
I don't know what the heck is wrong with this West Ham
This West
team,
Ham team stinks.
but Lopetegui's clock is ticking, man. Christian, I'll let you go first.
If they lose this one at home, they're at home, right?
Yeah.
Against Everton, I think you got to sack that manager.
This early though?
Yes.
I would. Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
And I got a feeling in my gut that the West Ham players want that to happen. So I think they're going to go sacrifice a game
Yeah.
in front of their home fans. And I'm going to go with a
Don't steal my
1-0
Come
Everton.
You're gonna do
My
that?
score.
You can go for it too.
I'll go 1-0 Everton.
1-0 Everton.
Bye
All right.
bye Lopetegui.
I'm gonna go with the upset.
Okay.
It's counting as an upset.
Yeah.
West Ham 2-1. They're gonna get the
Is
win.
Kudus back for this game?
No,
He's got a 3-game
he's
ban.
still
he's
got a-
out until
Got it. Okay.
second week or third week.
I'm gonna go West Ham 2-1 against
All right.
Everton. Wolves versus Southampton. This is the deciding game,
Yeah.
really, for the Wolves
Gotta
manager.
be.
If they don't win this, it's over for him.
Yeah.
Amir, what do you think?
This team needs a win.
They do, man. Both of them. I mean, Southampton just won 2 games on the bounce.
Yes, they did.
So
yeah.
they have
Right.
some momentum.
I think Wolves are gonna win. They're gonna
I feel
They're
like they
gonna
say
be
this
like-
every week.
they're gonna be like 2-1.
2-1. All right.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
You saying that?
See, this is the opposite of West Ham. I actually think those Wolves players believe in their manager. Gary O'Neill, I think, is
Yeah.
a good manager.
He's really good.
He
He's
is.
just had.
Bad
He
luck.
hasn't looked good this year, but I think he's got something there. I like that scoreline, dude. I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
I'm going to go 1-0 Wolves.
Okay.
1-0. Brighton, Brighton versus Manchester City. Which one of you? It's a coin toss.
Huh.
Who wants to go
I'll
first?
definitely go first.
You're going to go first?
2-1 Manchester City.
Really?
Yes.
Against Brighton?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I don't
all
fear
right.
Brighton.
Okay.
Don't fear Brighton at all.
Amir? Amir doesn't look as confident.
I think we're gonna get a clean sheet.
Are you going
He's even more
0-0?
confident.
No, I'm gonna say 2-0, man.
2-0? He's
See,
even
when
more
we
confident
Against
than
Brighton?
me.
when we lose 2 games in a row, you know what to expect next.
I don't know, man. I don't feel that way anymore.
I need to see John Stones as the CDM per Amir's recommendation.
I'm
to
about
Pep.
to message Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, and I need to see Kevin back on the pitch.
I'm going to go 1-1, guys.
Okay.
Brighton,
All right.
I don't think you guys are going to lose.
Amir, we just got some points there.
Yeah.
He just dropped points
Brighton,
right there.
Manchester City,
Yeah,
1-1.
he just dropped points.
We're going to
He's
see.
doing what I do every week.
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to do the like crazy. That's why you always go last. Now I'm the one that's like doing the crazy one.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Aston Villa, guys, the 3 p.m. game, which is weird for a Saturday, but what do you guys think? Amir?
I think easy win for Liverpool. Personally, I think it's going to be a 2-0 win.
Okay.
I was going to go 3-1 Liverpool, actually.
You guys are pretty confident.
I think they're going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. At home, Anfield, yeah, they're going to.
I'm just gonna stick with a 2-1. I don't think we
2-1?
can get 3 against Aston Villa. I think that's
Okay.
and
Well,
we're missing
Tottenham
Jota.
got 4 against Aston Villa.
That's true, but I mean, how long could that keep happening? You know,
True.
I don't
Good
know.
point.
Emery's a smart man.
They usually do bounce back after a
Yeah,
loss.
but I don't think they're gonna bounce back against us. I'm
Yeah.
going 2-1. We stay
Yeah.
at the top of the table still.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Manchester United, Leicester City. I think that's the last game for Van Nistelrooy before the next manager comes.
Are we due for an international break again?
Yeah,
After this
there
one?
is.
Oh,
There is
wow.
one after this, so
on.
he'll have a little bit of time. But Christian, what do you think?
Man United versus Leicester.
Garnacho hat trick? Is that what I heard you whisper?
I'm looking at this matchup, Man United versus Leicester. I don't see goals happening.
They
in this
won
game.
5-2 in the Carabao Cup. I know it was a B team, but we had to keep that in mind. It was against Leicester.
That's what I'm saying is Leicester is going to come back and want revenge on them. So, and Man United stink. They can't score any goals.
Oh man, you sound like Ten Hag trying to pick a lineup.
I'm gonna go another gross 1-1.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
No.
They're gross.
I already hear glory, glory, Man United saying goodbye to Van Nistelrooy.
Oh yeah, fist pumps in the air.
In the Old Trafford, classic Man United with their ego. It's a 3-0 win.
3-0.
Wow, okay.
That's a big statement right there.
I would be interested to see where 3 goals come from on the squad. I would be very
Casemiro,
Casemiro, another rocket outside the box. Yeah.
I'm gonna go pretty similar. I'm gonna go 2-0. I think
2-0.
2-0. I think they keep a clean sheet. Van Nistelrooy signs off, and yeah, I think that's probably realistic.
All right.
Nottingham Forest and Newcastle, guys. Nottingham Forest, which we didn't talk about,
We need to
are
start
top
including
3.
them.
They're in 3rd place.
Yes.
And there's a stat I heard about it. Usually, this is the table 10 games into the season is pretty similar to where it's at the end of the season.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
Most of the time, teams don't usually change. I mean, with some exceptions, but most of the time, how the league is 10 games in is typically kind of what you'll see at the end of the season. So,
Dude.
imagine if we see them in Europa League or something. I
that'd
mean,
be
that's
sick.
we were talking about relegation, all 3 of us.
Didn't Nuno Santo take Wolves to a European competition
He did.
a couple of years ago?
You did, yeah.
He did well enough there to get the Tottenham job.
Yeah, and he did also bring them to. They were in Europa League.
Yeah, I thought
I don't remember
so.
how good.
Yeah, or
I don't know
Europa
about that, but I
Conference
just
League,
remember him leaving that job to take the Tottenham job. So.
Yeah.
So we got to put some respect. But Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle. What do you guys think, Christian?
I learned my lesson not to pick against Nottingham Forest. They just had a really good 3-0 victory, I think, in their last match.
Yeah, but Newcastle beat Arsenal.
Newcastle beat Arsenal, but Newcastle doesn't have St. James Park behind them. This is in Nottingham Stadium,
That
correct?
is true.
So I don't see them winning the game, actually. I'm going to go 2-1 Nottingham.
Wow.
They don't have the Geordies behind them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. The odds are.
Actually, they travel well, though, I have to say. The Geordie fans
They
travel
do, yeah.
pretty well. Yeah.
Amir.
I think Newcastle are gonna be pumped after that win against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think Newcastle are gonna win. Let's say 2-1.
2-1. I'm gonna go with an ugly 1-1. I don't think it's gonna be an ugly game, but
Yeah.
I think the score line 1-1 is kind of respectable for both teams.
Fair enough.
Tottenham versus Ipswich. Oh my gosh, Amir, you get started first.
Well, Delap is gonna get his goal.
Okay.
We
Okay.
know that.
Yeah.
And then Tottenham are gonna score 3.
Yeah,
So it's a 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
Okay,
Spurs.
My turn?
you go first. Yeah.
All right, so I'm aware that Tottenham is like kind of like my side piece, right?
They are, man.
Yeah. But when you have a side piece, you know their trend, you know their trends.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be where Tottenham lose and disappoint their fans.
Against Ipswich, though.
At home too.
No.
That's
There's
wild,
no way.
man.
There's no way. There's no way it's happening.
Christian's trying to get some points, man. He's trying to beat me.
Yeah. 2-2. I'm going to tie.
2-2.
I'm going to go tie. They'll
can
do
see
enough
that.
to disappoint their fans.
On a Sunday.
You know,
Sunday, on the Lord's Day. I don't know why. On a Sunday. What is that?
I just don't feel it.
I want to go a little bit wilder, but I don't know if the scoreline is going to happen, but I'm going to go with it. Tottenham 3-2 against Ipswich.
All right.
I think this will be a high-scoring game. The game of the weekend,
For sure.
Chelsea versus Arsenal. Really, can Arsenal turn it around? Because if they don't, this is going to be very bad for them. I don't know how far they're going to be sitting, but
Do you guys believe that if Chelsea win this match and Tottenham win their match,
yeah,
Tottenham goes ahead of Arsenal on the table? Could
Oh,
you believe
man.
that? With the way Arsenal has been so
Arsenal
hot and
could be
cold,
in 8th.
hot and cold, hot and
Wow.
cold, hot and cold.
If Brighton win too, Arsenal could be in 8th.
Yeah, yeah.
That's shocking.
Wait a minute.
let's
What
do
are
it.
the points between Tottenham and Arsenal? Separated?
It's just 2 points.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. So I was right. Yeah.
Brighton and
So,
Tottenham are tied, and Arsenal.
Can you imagine if that happens?
That's shocking.
Because we've been talking about Arsenal being like a title contender, and Tottenham has been so hot and cold. Anyway, not to talk about
Man.
Tottenham anymore than it needs to be. But I'm gonna go Chelsea. It's a must-win for Arsenal. Like must not even tie. They have to win this one.
They really do. That's 4th versus 5th.
I think they're gonna rise.
Okay.
2-1 Arsenal.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll give it to them.
I
Yeah.
see it. Amir, you were talking trash about Chelsea, right? Was that you? Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
you was you.
That was me.
You were hyping up Chelsea. Never mind.
I'm rooting for 8th place Arsenal. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 1-0 Chelsea.
Oh man,
Okay.
I think I have to agree with Christian. I don't think they can lose another game. I don't think Chelsea's at their best right now either.
But if you can tell me Chelsea can score, Arsenal cannot.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be high scoring.
I think Odegaard will be back for this one.
Really. I'm going to
He's
go
already training.
I'm going to go Arsenal 2-1 as well.
Okay.
I think that's realistic.
All right.
Boys, what an amazing weekend. Liverpool
Yeah.
winning, ending the weekend first place. Manchester City dropping points with their first loss of the weekend.
I don't know
Of the
why you're.
season?
I don't know why you're so happy because there was a season like how many points difference were between Man City and Liverpool?
You're talking about history, Amir. We're talking about the
It's
present.
like 2-3 years ago with
Present.
with the best coach you've ever had.
Oh, you sound like a Chelsea fan that's like, oh, Drogba, and we used to win. And
No,
right now,
it's the same players.
Liverpool is first place.
Yeah.
Put some respect on the bird
All right.
with glory and gold.
Okay.
You know what's crazy is that when you guys lost to Nottingham at the time,
That's
it looked
true,
like
yeah.
such an embarrassing loss. But now Nottingham's in third
Now it's
place.
not.
So we can
Yeah.
say
For real.
we lost to the
Yeah.
potential title contenders, right?
Yeah. Four club.
Do you guys have any other things you guys wanted to discuss about anything?
I did want to say that these predictions that we have this week,
Are wild.
I've never seen. We're so different on so many things.
Yeah.
The points are going to change a lot this week, my guys. I'm looking forward to it.
They're wild. They're wild
Yeah,
predictions.
very wild.
Me too, boys. Well, I guess that's it for today. Thank you guys for joining us. And remember to please listen to George Musri on SoundCloud and any music platforms like Spotify. He made the beats for us in this podcast. And
Shout out George.
shout out to George. And
Gunner.
please like, subscribe, share to all your friends. And see you guys next week.
Mon City.